All right, all the ideas, say them. Get a notebook. Correction, I'm not going to say the ideas. I'm going to start writing them and putting pencil to paper, trail. I'm going to digitize it and get rid of this stuff. And there you go. Am I going to be able to organize it? I don't know. I don't know if I can, but maybe. I'm going to try to increase the quantity by each day having a lesson plan, a worksheet, a scene written with the methodology described, the audio triggers, list, whatever it is that's required for that day. I'm going to create it in that moment and then have the countdown. Because the American revolution, the American political system is facing an election year. And the words of Joe Biden will never fade, because that voice and those words got me through something. Because when I couldn't look up, I forced myself to turn my head upward towards American flags. And I came across photos I took in New York City, 2007. So the number 7 became heaven. Remember, voila, numbers went away. But these little rhymes and ditties popped up incessantly, and I still remember them. 7 is heaven. How do you get let in? I'm thinking, what the heck is that? Well, that's poetry, because the origin of how to end trauma, quite frankly, for me, is poetry. It's the visual and the audio and the tactile together, how it's laid out on a page, a single sheet of white paper, I'm assuming. And I have this appreciation for that, which I didn't realize was so strong until this concussion, when I now learn kinesthetically when I used to learn audio visually. So I got to adapt to that. Anyway, 7. Whenever I used to see that number, I would hear that. And now it's not there anymore. So let's show some of the photos from New York City and get rid of this CD. Just throw it away. I don't want it anymore anyway. American flag. One was a Nico cat, and I think the other one was maybe Central Park. I don't know. But to me, I haven't changed. So to look at the flag is the stripes of radiating pain or lines drawn through my body, as I asked my friends, so do you guys have like these lines that you feel in your body, or sort of an outline where your neck is? Like an aura? No, we don't have that. Or I don't have that. No, you don't have it either? No, so no, none of you? Okay. Just checking. So that's good. That's the feedback. So you can say, okay, this is different. And that's why you got to be brave to ask, to be like, I'm such a weirdo. Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with my body? But also the feedback. So to the people that provided feedback, thank you. I gave myself the steps verbally in the podcast. Now I'm going to connect it to that date in the YouTube with a link to the podcast. So if you find the YouTube video, you can find the podcast. It'll be the original with the visuals, but they got all mumble jumbo because this disorder comes in disordered, obviously all mixed up. But the things that are absolutely on replay are the purposeful, the same triggers and trauma, which thankfully are going away. But I don't want them to go entirely away until I catch them, because I think it's significant. But I also want to just not live with it. So there is recovery in this. The difference is what I'm doing now is recording and documenting it in a curriculum, which I told the doctors. Your behavior is what's creating it, because this is what's keeping my mind sharp. I can do math every day. I have done examples of it, a very brief math where I just notice the time and maybe write it out because I couldn't do it before, or I say, hey, today is Saturday, July 27th. And now, without further ado, the next 26 minutes, I'm going to explain it to you. So 2 minutes, 3 seconds, 3 minutes, go. This is something I found on Wix, reflections and rejections, whatever words popped up, I put it in the, because I was looking for the Tumblr page. That's not it. The Tumblr page I was looking for is excellent job describing my story. I write day and night to increase my writing skills. A conscious decision to do so publicly is like diving with eyes wide open. This refers to Jamaica and cliff diving. I had to push him, like not literally, but like, you can do it. The last day he dove, and I thought that was going to break through some confidence. Always the supportive individual. Be open to mistakes and the foundations that the previous generations have laid for us. If we aren't aware of how daily gratitude can balance our mental health issues, then we're missing more than an ability to be thankful. I got my voice back August 15, 2019, and heard my voice the first time August 12, 2019. I'll be editing 25 plus sites. This is the base for safe reading spaces until I can note it. When I said I got my voice back, I feel like there might have been a moment where I heard it, but then it slipped again. So again, I recorded those successes as much as possible. Maybe I didn't write it the proper way where I got it back. Oh, I was wrong. But that's part of it. You think something, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so much better. And then you're like, no, it wasn't. Well, I thought it was getting better. Yeah, it wasn't. It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's a cha-cha. And that's when it gets kind of goofy, because in 2019, I had dates because I had to get those before I started talking about the dates. I couldn't get that information because I just know it as the day.
I guess this trigger isn't done yet, so I'm going to continue explaining.
Day after I said, get out of my house, based on your...
Knew I was not reading. I was completely defenseless because I couldn't say, hey, what are you writing over there? Well, I found out because during mediation with the union and the Board of Education, they told me what was being written, because they read it to me. Do you ever feel different? And I said, absolutely not. I feel lucky. Why would I do that? They were so focused on the sense of difference. So focused, in fact, that it rekindled a memory of someone telling me, in my family, there's a hatred of difference. Okay, what the heck does that mean? So a warning. For the warning. All these warnings I'm given. So you're kind of given that information, but is that then the truth? Or is that somebody trying to lead you astray? I think we have a little bit of Trump in us, and that's why the fight is to always... Whoa. There we go.
Fight temptation. Come on, it's too easy. Do it right. With morality. Therapy session and what happened. Now it explained it all those questions in an instant. It was like seeing everything in your life happen at once. Boom, 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 boom. All those questions and feelings of confusion I had briefly, like what the hell is that? Were answered because you just answered all the questions, so all those behaviors make sense, and that's why they're all connected. Then the base for safe reading spaces until I can note, take, and research and toggle effortlessly between strategies. Next season. Survivor shame and victim sex. Funny, I was just thinking, I had written something like that. That's going to be composition 6. Survivor shame. This is something they try to do to you, okay? In the healthcare system. It's basically, well, this is the cause of everything, and they don't listen to anything. It's like, wow. So survivors, if you don't want to tell your doctor because it doesn't affect you in the day-to-day, I would advise you not to. I would never advise somebody to do this because I was not going to not tell my doctors everything, including, oh my gosh, smoking pot, amazing. But I waited until I could not physically take it. I was a passenger in a car, and the person had pot in the boot. And I thought, introduction, oh wow, you're a savior, starting in 2009. But I also knew this. Now it's all over the place. It's a real disorder for sure. I just have to admit. But my understanding is that we know that because your eyes are red and you can't handle it's just a combination, right? So you're high. Multiple. We get it. So social anxiety, I have a nice factors. Why are you comfortable in this environment with this group of people and not so much here? The connective thread to all of it just seems people don't know how to talk to each other. That's the one thing I noticed. So you're anxious because you don't know what to say and do. Well, okay. Well, let me model it for you. I write about consent, forced coercion, or mating, dating, relating. And that's why, quite frankly, I'm not really into dating. The end. All right, I'm going to slow that. All right, we're going to just start over. That was started yesterday. I don't remember it, so that's the little assessment to say I don't remember yesterday, but I did get the word yesterday back because I remember I confronted some people. Are you going to answer the questions or not? Because you're deflecting it, and that's the behavior of the charities. That's the behavior of the administration. That's the behavior of the healthcare. These are all the same behaviors. So you can apply behaviors to big systems like healthcare systems, educational system, legal systems, like being in a court of law against CPS and them just lying. They acted like they didn't know what was going on. I'm like, but people told me there were lawyers all throughout the school, and then there's a list of people to testify, so I know who the lawyers asked. And the one name on the list to testify that should have been there wasn't. I know this teacher. She doesn't lie. She shakes talking to me. She doesn't have, I don't want to say control of her classroom, but the only thing I could say to her was, well, stop having conversations with the kids and start putting routines down and just nip it in the bud. What the heck is going on? Let's begin. Okay, renters versus owners. You can read that. It's part of this person when you walked away. When I said, well, why don't you just extend the lease? You've been here 2 years or 3 years. I'm sure they'll do that. This step you can just read yourself. I'm losing my writing and this will happen. But the first step is to get it out. And thankfully, let's just move through that quickly. So I'm going to make it go real fast. That was when I ended PTSD, 10/13/21. Okay, here we go. Write it to survive it. Sociological, psychological case study on behavior, characteristic of anxiety, sobriety, and butthead bad mood mooch. Now that name fell apart, but the hashtag reminded me that I did the pattern. My fingers like the pattern. It feels good. So that would be control, whatever it is, to get to that hashtag. And then also the hashtag breaks up the noise in writing because it turns blue. And then I thought of black and blue Bruce who? That's physical assault, and also the Chicago Police Department, because these reminders remind you of the trauma. So I guess they're right. Everything we do is a trigger, but no, I was very specific. Doctors, Goldman Fang of Northwestern Memorial Hospital. It's not everything you do. It's the fact that you're doing this right now. I said I'm having increased anxiety because I don't trust what you're writing, because I just had a mediation and they told me what you're writing in there, that I have an issue with difference. You asked me one question if I ever felt different, and I said I felt lucky because I won the lottery being adopted. And she wrote in a whole other narrative. So what did you write? What did you write in there? They just lie. They lie and they figure out ways to get rid of you as a patient, and they want you to die. This is a #1 rated hospital. All right, let's speed through this one as well. I zoom in on mood because they want to write a mood disorder. You have a mood disorder. Well, yeah, because I'm talking to you and you're stigmatizing me, and I'm now reporting suicide from you. I know exactly how it started. So don't tell me anything and everything you do is a trigger. But that was the words to remind me and help me. Oh my God, everything could be a trigger. So let's open our minds up. So new knowledge connected to a priori. That's all you need in life. What did you know before, and what did you just learn? And how did you know you learned it, and who and why? Ask the questions. Figure out what you are, who you are, and what bits that work for you and which bits don't. And this person, let's just say they never said please and thank you. I remember the conversation because we'd be like, the two people that would teach you to say please and thank you, they say please and thank you, but why don't they? They just stare at you. It's a really weird behavior I wasn't used to. What is it? Goals, reclaim space and home. You can read it. And that's the vote because of the board of directors. I'm sitting there having a fake meeting for 2.5, 3 hours waiting. This was a setup. And nobody voted, the board of members, because we sit there in the private meetings and they don't talk about anything. They gossip. They make fun of the homeless people. March 12, 2024. It's a disorder, so order it. Yeah. Concussion, kindness, or other. Gee, what's that? What's this say? That's consent too. Stop violating basic rights. I don't know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, the word two-hearted. Great. #2, I lost because it's spelled multiple ways. So this is a beer that was at my wedding because I planned my rehearsal dinner and my wedding to give her a hobby. And I said, what the heck is this? I met their wedding planner and it clicked, boom. So that was to give her something to do so she'd stop bothering you. Are you sure this is your wedding? And then I heard that echo later. That really wasn't your wedding. And I was so grateful for the people around me who noticed because they know me. And they had the, well, let's just say the chutzpah, the bravery, the courage. No, just the intrinsic nature to stand up. Miss T is a hardworking, very knowledgeable, and self-motivated. She has high standards for her students and helps them achieve those standards. Miss T is an integral part of our inclusion program. See, not self-contained. Her paperwork is very accurate. And Jamie, my last first name, fuck yeah, really cares about her students and the removal of it when marriage, because the words were, was she so independent? Is she going to take his last name? And I didn't have to get married. I was convinced to get married because of the words best friend in some speech. Oh, the speech. Get out of my motherfucking head. Motherfucking, that's my mana, fine motor, and nana, mental fatigue. So I'm waning here, but we're going to finish this. Also very professional. Weaknesses, none. None. So thank you to this person. You know who you are. That's Tumblr, wrote it all out since it was the largest writing space I could find. That's right, when I found Tumblr, I thought, oh my gosh, I can put more writing in, more pictures, video, until I found Twitter. Nope. Until I found YouTube. All right, really, let's start putting those YouTube videos on, as well as the singing site, because you did the video already. You don't have to relive this. But to really hit it home, the individual that really helped you end video, quite frankly, because you FaceTimed with them when abroad in a country that created a lot of trauma. Why? Because they didn't have numbers then. And people around me saw that I didn't have numbers. And it was really strange. I can hear myself struggling to get this out. And I don't want to sound angry or upset. But when I hear it, I realize, well, that's the timetable. I need the date of going to Mexico, not numbers. And then the date, 2024. February, when I got numbers back, the anticipation of going back to that country with De Niro. Everything's the same, except now I get to assess. Just like I went back to England twice to assess during the lambing if my endocrine system was chill, because the sheep would not let you near them with an anxious endocrine system, and I got closer the second time. So I knew I was better, even though the sheep were going to be more alert because of the lambs. This is too stressful to listen to, but I can tell that it is obviously much better. And also, I'm very okay with my voice. It's the people around me that aren't okay with my voice. What I was going to say is when people take advantage, when people see things and they have a reaction to that difference. So I don't have a hatred of difference. It's everyone around me, seemingly. But the focus will be on the healthcare system that changed the narrative, that taught me what they did in the education system. And then with this knowledge, I had it to go into with these other places like law, the CTU, Chicago Teacher Union, Chicago Parks District, and the Chicago Police Department. But it didn't help. I wasn't fully recovered, but I do believe now, hopefully July 29, 2024, I don't want to say I'm completely recovered, but I do know I have to start attaching those YouTube videos, because what the YouTube video represents is what was created and contained as these individuals were doing this to me. And I had suicide, and I reported it to the doctors, and they didn't want to take it down because I said, well, I know how and why. And I told them point blank, just like I told the person abusing me, one day I'm going to write my story. I'm going to share it. I'm going to help others. And I should not have said that to them, because that's when they really just so don't do that. And yet, apparently, that's just my bad habit. I'm always going to stand up. So I need to change myself a little bit, I suppose, or figure out how to stay safe in an endocrine system that's uber super sensitive. Thank you.